Viktor Gyökeres. Viktor Gyökeres. It looks like he will be leaving Sporting Lisbon this summer. David Ornstein gave an exclusive yesterday saying Arsenal are developing strong interest in Viktor Gyökeres as possible striker. Of course, Andrea Berta has been announced as the new director of football of Arsenal. As well as that, Matheus Cunha has an exit plan to leave Wolves just shortly after signing a new contract. And also, Xavi is being heavily linked with being the next manager at Spurs. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Apologies for no content the last couple of days. I did have a bit of a family emergency, but that's kind of all been sorted now. So we are back on the content. We are progressing towards the big 50K. We're 1,108 subs away, to be precise. And you haven't subscribed. What are you waiting for? Do you know what? We're going to jump straight in with David Ornstein talking about Viktor Gyökeres. Now, this comment yesterday, and apologies, I wasn't able to put any content out on this. Arsenal developing strong interest in Viktor Gyökeres as possible striker signing. Andrea Berta, firm admirer of the 26-year-old, Sporting forward expected to figure prominently among Arsenal's options, maybe more realistic than Isak. Now, I've said this a number of times. There is more chance of an Alexander Isak staying at Newcastle, and there's a lot more chance of Viktor Gyökeres leaving Sporting Lisbon. Now, we all know this guy's pedigree. An elite goal scorer in Portugal, a very, very good goal scorer in Europe, both in the Champions League and in the Europa League, has played in England before, played at Swansea, played at Brighton, played in the Championship, which is a very, very physical league. The narrative is going to be, but he isn't good enough, etc., etc. He hasn't played in the Premier League on a consistent basis. I don't know why people are saying that. His numbers, when you break them down, are absolutely stupidly good. It doesn't matter if it's in Portugal or not. His numbers are ridiculous. 30 goals and 6 assists in 26 games this season is fucking stupidly good. His numbers in all competitions for Sporting Lisbon are insane. 85 goals and 26 assists in 92 games is stupidly good. He's played at Coventry. He's played at Brighton. He's played at Swansea. His record at Coventry, 60 goal contributions in 116, 208 goals and 63 assists in 385 games, whether that be at under 21, under 19, for Coventry. You look at his record in the Champions League, 6 goals in 8 games. His record in the Europa League, 7 goals in 9 games. For me, he would be a game changer for Arsenal. And there are reports coming out suggesting that he is more realistic than Alexander Isak, and he's expected to leave. So I honestly believe, looking at that report, Arsenal probably will make a move for him. Let's just be honest. He massively improves their 11. He massively improves their team overall. I honestly think he would be a statement signing. You've also got to look at Matheus Cunha, who's another one who was heavily linked to Arsenal. It has come out yesterday from Fabrizio Romano. He come out and said late last night, basically suggesting that Matheus Cunha will be leaving Wolves with imminent effect in the summer. He come out with a quote saying, "I've made it clear. I want to take the next step. I want to fight for titles." And this was told via The Guardian. Now, Matheus Cunha, whether that's Liverpool, Spurs should be doing everything they can. We should be doing everything we can to get this guy. He would be an unbelievable signing. Can play left wing, can play right wing, can play number 9, can play number 10. He's a great creative player. He's a good goal scorer. For me, he ticks all of the boxes. All of the boxes, every single one. I don't think Arsenal will go for him. I think maybe Liverpool may, but I think it's unlikely. I know, look at someone like Spurs. I think we could go Newcastle, Brentford. There's a lot of teams. Could Brentford replace him if they sell Buemo? It clearly says, I want to fight for titles. So you'd imagine, it wouldn't put it past me if someone like Chelsea went in for him. If Chelsea went in for Matheus Cunha, that honestly would not surprise me. looking at what they're trying to do, um, I believe that looking at this logistically and looking at this in terms of what the plan would be for Matheus Cunha is to get a move to a Champions League club. Inter Milan, maybe as well, someone like that. There was a few updates from Fabrizio Romano with regards to Bukayo Saka. Mikel Arteta has come out and said that he is good to go. He said he can already start versus Fulham. We will see tomorrow. All of the careful things he's already done. It's about putting him on the grass in the right moment. He's pushing. He really wants it. Now, I would, if I was obviously Mikel Arteta, you'd want to make sure that he is 100% and not being rushed back for the Fulham game. They have got a massive, massive game next week against Real Madrid. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I think he may play, 25, maybe 30 minutes against Fulham, and then may probably play the full 90 against Real Madrid. That's what probably I would imagine. Arteta come out and said Calafiori unfortunately picked up an injury during the national team. Unfortunate, but lucky it wasn't much worse. Hopefully a matter of weeks. But they've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, so I don't think that's going to be a huge, huge miss. When I look at the remainder of the season for Arsenal, it's just about getting past Madrid. For Liverpool, it's about obviously cementing the league title. Yesterday was a big, big game in the FA Cup. Manchester City played really, really well. I'll tell you who looks a player, that Nico O'Reilly for Man City. Assisted Haaland and assisted Omar Mamouche for both goals. The Premier League is, of course, back tomorrow. Wolves, West Ham, Arsenal, Fulham, Man United, Forest. And then, of course, you've got big, big games on Wednesday as well, including Villa, Brighton, Liverpool, Everton. And then Thursday is the big one, Chelsea versus Spurs. I'll be honest. I think, the upcoming Premier League weekend is going to be a good one. But someone's come out and said, let me just quickly bring this tweet up because I want to share this. Their player isn't as good as he thinks he is. Spurs level at best. Talking about Matheus Cunha. I think that's crazy. I don't know who this guy supports. Who does he support? Does anyone know who this guy supports? I don't know who this guy supports. But saying Spurs level at best is extremely disrespectful to Cunha. Don't get me wrong. We are in the pits at the moment. But I definitely think he could get a move to a club that's in and around the Champions League. That's obviously Tottenham's aspirations. Speaking of us, we are looking at appointing Xavi Hernandez, the ex-Barcelona manager, Barcelona legend. And of course, Paratici, his ban is up in June. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Our entire season now is hanging on the balance of Tottenham pretty much winning our Europa League game. When I look at that Europa League game against Frankfurt, if for whatever reason we don't win it, he should be sacked. He should have been sacked ages ago, but he should be sacked on the spot. Absolutely on the spot. No ifs, buts, or maybes. Finito. See you later. Adios. Get rid. When I look at what Tottenham want to do in terms of getting back into the Champions League, Ange Postecoglou is not the manager to do that. We need to bring in at least 3 or 4 players in the summer. I'm talking a massive rebuild. When you look at the team that bearing in mind, when we played Chelsea, we wouldn't have played a game for 18 days. The team that played against Fulham, this team is absolutely better than 15th in the Premier League. There's no excuse. We had Romero. We had Udogie. We had Spence, Bentancur, Graham Bissouma, Solanke in the team, Vicario in the team. There's absolutely zero excuse to be 15th in the Premier League with a bench with Maddison, Son, Bergvall, Odebert, Pedro Porro, Van de Ven. That's a very, very strong bench. There's absolutely zero excuse for us to be sitting 15th in the league. And if we do lose to Chelsea and teams around us winning the Premier League, we might be sitting 16th. That's extremely concerning. If Wolves win at the weekend or their next game,
Let's say Wolves go on 29. They're only 5 points behind us. Tottenham could be, by the end of the season, 17th in the Premier League. You know, we're closer to 17th than we are, I think, 9th. Or was that I saw earlier? Yeah. Look, talk about top 4. We're flipping 10 points off of flipping Bournemouth. Like, and you look at that Bournemouth team with Dean Huijsen, with Kluivert, with Semenyo, with Gyökeres. Those 4 players get in our team. That's how bad the recruitment has been under Ange Postecoglou. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already. And make sure you do hit that subscribe button. I am out.